Hello there, you, and welcome to an Eldar war host that's about to go head-to-head with this Tau firewall. Will the Eldar be able to overcome the Tau's mighty firepower, or will the Tau and their spinning tanks fall prey to the Eldar's guile and agility? But before we do get into today's fight, I just want to say a massive shout out to all you channel members who helped keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out the amazing ChaoticPinky store, where we got some really cool merch for you. But with all that being said, let's get on with the battle. Here we go then, you wonderful little internet sausages. Eldar on the right, Tau on the left over here. We've got this lovely little hill on which they're going to be fighting over. Who's going to get the superior firepower here? It looks like the Eldar are racing ahead, though Kroots are close behind here. We're going to get our initial clash in the center. Already, though, ammunition from both sides is raining across the field here. We've got Guardians providing covering support here. We've got Fire Warriors for the Tau in that center line. It's already turning deadly here. The Howling Banshees getting stuck in it. You can see the Wraith Lords are also coming in here. Yeah, I imagine though the Tau are going to be focusing these guys down pretty heavily. I would if I was a member of the Tau. I wouldn't want this getting up in my grill anytime soon. But of course the Banshees absolute melee masterclass here. Even though the crew themselves are really good at melee, they're going to be outmatched here by the sheer weight of numbers that the Eldar are fielding. I realize it's an unrealistic amount, but you know what? Sometimes you got to let the realism go. And it's just nice to see so many insane Howling Banshees on the field. Now the the Tau have got a lot of firepower over here. The Fire Warriors focusing anything that's coming over the hill. God, look at the shapes of the Wraith Walkers. Yeah, you totally want to be focusing them down. You don't want them on the field for too long. Does look like that the Eldar are trying to outflank the Tau on this over here. But they're struggling a little bit. A lot of Karoots have been flung into this. Though I will note, there's not that much Tau firepower raining down on this line at all. So maybe the Howling Banshees can get through this area totally unhindered. It does look like most of the firepower from the Tau lines is focused into the center. And the Howling Banshees over here are having a hell of a time. I mean, they are absolutely cutting down the Karoot in melee combat here, but they're getting gunned down as they get close. Looks like we're about to take down a Hammerhead tank here, though. Yeah, take that, you silly hover tank. They're making their way over the hill. Oh, God, look at this. The Quagmire has already started on this side. But yeah, look at that firepower now, just absolutely annihilating the front lines of Eldar as they try to push into this. There's a lot of XV8 suits as well in amongst the Tau lines here. Again, Kroot doing the job though. They're just trying to make a rudimentary holding pattern here, or at least slow down the Banshees. It does look like though, actually, most of the Wraith Lords have been taken out here. I'm pretty impressed. We can see that the Guardians are starting to line up their firepower on this hill over here. And they're going to be raining down into the Tau front line. I love this little area. I mean, we've made a lake in it already. But it is really cool looking. Look, oh God, look at all this. Maybe this is going to pull up underneath the Tau. In fact, it already is. Look at that, just below them. At risk of drowning there. Let's go over to our far flank again. Look at this though. Actually, we have got a couple of Wraith Lords left alive on this side. Again, the Tau have not brought any of their firepower to this flank. They're trying to line up troops now. But it might be too little too late. The Howling Banshees are closing in on this hill. And it looks like there's a lot of Fire Warriors there, ready to be turned into sushi. So they're going to try and focus the fire on these Wraith Lords. These guys are the sponges as they send Karoot flying through the air. Oh, the poor Karoot. Look at the Eldar though, they're trying to close this gap in the center. The firepower is the only thing keeping them back at the moment. The Karoot sacrificing themselves to try and slow down the war host as much as possible. And the Fire Warrior power is significant. Look at this on the far hill though. It looks like the Eldar broke. The Tau managed to kill all of the Howling Banshees on their side. And now they're actually got a bit of a superiority here. They're on the side of a hill, raining the fire down into the flanks of the Howling Banshees. We have got a couple of more Banshees coming up here, realizing that the flank has been exposed, but this is taking units away vitally from the front lines. And the Eldar lines are getting thinned out bit by bit here. They've suffered heavy casualties trying to maneuver into possession here. try and close that gap between the Tau guns. Of course, the Tau living up to the name here when it comes to terms of firepower, just raining it down. So their only hope really for the Eldar then might be this insane flanking maneuver, which has done really well. Look at that, he's just washed over this defense instantly. And this is going to start diverting firepower away from our front lines there, which is going to allow the Eldar to close the gap on the front line. Now, the Tau have, that's not to say that the Tau haven't got firepower in this area, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We might have a little bit of a pincer maneuver going on. Look at the, yeah, lol, it's lovely. They're just sweeping over the entire hill here, putting down everything in their path. And look at this now, the firepower is diverting. Some of it is going into that flank. Not all of it is going to the front line anymore. And look how much the Eldar have closed that gap now. They're right up in the grill. Oh my god, even coming over the hill. This is an absolutely wonderful little hill. The fact that the Eldar managed to push back the Tau off this hill is going to be critical to the Tau defense, because that gives them cover as they're now coming up the hill, which means that there's only these two little valleys of firepower. And again, look at this, the Eldar trying to re-establish this flank. More units are coming into it. They don't like the fact that the fire warriors are just raining fire down on top of their lines this side. It looks like we might have a little bit of a panic going on here in the Tau. They're starting to fall back, trying to find better defensible ground, but unfortunately behind them, it's just desert and a cliff face. They've got nowhere to run. Though I suppose they can retreat backwards over the open field here, covering each other with the firepower. That is an option, and I think that could actually bleed out the Eldar bit by bit. Now, that's not to say though, because look, we've still got the Eldar gunners over here. The Guardians have been laying down their own covering fire onto that front for this entire fight. And to some degree, they actually outgunned the Tau. I think they've got slightly superior range and damage, but they've got much better armor in terms of being able to dodge the incoming rounds. Look at this, it's a sweeping maneuver now of Banshees, but is it going to be enough? It's already starting to run out of steam over here. The firepower is still significant on this hill. And as predicted, look at this, the Tau are starting to move backwards into the flat, open desert. Are they luring the Eldar into a trap here? Are the Eldar going to come over the crest of this hill and be gunned down en masse? Because that's looking like what's happening at the moment. We've still got Karut here slowing down that war host, and that is allowing the fire warriors to lay in their covering fire. And look at this, even this flank over this side now. We're getting diminishing returns. Though I will say we've largely defeated it. But now look, all the gunners are spread out over here. The Eldar are going to have a hell of a time trying to chase them down. We need our gunners to come up. Oh my god, look at this battlefield. And look at this, the Eldar Guardians now are pushing up to the field, realizing what's happening. They need to come and lay down this covering fire to stop these units from scattering as much as they have. Oh my god, they're actually evaporating. Look, this was the Tau plan all along. They've brought them out into the flat open plains, and now they've just absolutely annihilated the Eldar. Oh my god, that is Tau for you though. Look at that, that's so dirty. Absolute scumbags the Tau are. They just retreated into the flat open field and they were like, yep, there's nothing you can do about that. Oh, the Tau are so dirty. I hate the Tau. They're so mean. It's just like, yep, we're going to shoot you from 72 inches away, mates. You're not even on the battlefield. It doesn't matter. With one Eldar left on the field, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to call this one here. And of course, as always, all good things must come to an end, even the scummy little Tau that we've got. And as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.